Well, hello, boys and girls. Welcome back. Today, I'm going to share you a aftertale. That is a story after a story. Most likely, you've all heard the old story about Humpty Dumpty. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty Dumpty together again. It's a very much of a safety issue. It was saying when he fell, he couldn't get up. He fell apart. Well, in life, that's not true. And we sometimes have to get up after we fall. Sometimes we're scared and we try to play it safe. Well, I want to tell you the story after that fall by giving you after the fall, the furthering story of Humpty Dumpty. The story is after the fall and how Humpty Dumpty got back up again. My name is Humpty Dumpty. This was my favorite spot, high up on the wall. I know it's an odd place for an egg to be, but I just really love being close to birds. Then one day, I fell. I'm sort of that famous part of the fall. Folks called it the Great Fall, which sounds a little grand, but it really was just an accident. But that accident changed my life. Fortunately, all the king's horsemen managed to put me back together again. Well, almost all of me. There were some parts they couldn't heal with bandages and glue. After that day, I became afraid of heights. I was so scared that it kept me from enjoying some of my favorite things. I walked past the wall every day, and I would think about climbing up that ladder again. I really miss the birds and being high above the city, but I could never do it because I knew that accidents can happen. I eventually settled for watching the birds from the ground. I wasn't the same. It wasn't the same, but it was better than nothing. Then one day, an idea flew by. Making planes was harder than I thought. It was easy to get cuts and scratches, but day after day, I kept trying and trying until I got it just right. My plane was perfect and it flew like nothing could ever stop it. I hadn't felt that happy in a long, long time. It wasn't the same as being up in the sky with the birds, but for me, it was close enough. Unfortunately, accidents can happen. They always seem to happen. I almost walked away again, but then I thought about all the time I'd spent working on that plane and all the other things I'd missed. I decided I was going to climb that wall, but the higher I got, the more nervous I felt. I didn't want to admit it. I was terrified. I didn't look up. I didn't look down. I just kept climbing, one step at a time. until I was no longer afraid. Maybe now you won't think of me as that egg who was famous for falling. Hopefully, you'll remember me as the egg who got back up. And sometimes we learn how to fly. And soar we do. What happened at the very end, boys and girls, was Humpty Dumpty, the egg, hatched. And hatched into a beautiful bird to fly. That was what his story was. He fell, but he wasn't afraid to get back up. And because he got back up and he overcame that fear, he learned how to soar even higher. That's just like all of you. Every day we have a fear of failing, of not doing well on a test, of not making a team, to maybe even not making a friend. And those fears hold us back. We can't fall for our fears. We have to soar above them, just like Humpty Dumpty. Don't be afraid of being on the ground, but every once in a while, strive to climb that wall. You'd be amazed at what you might see. So, my friends, thank you for being with me. I hope you enjoyed our simple little book, After the Fall, because it has a great message for you. And remember, don't be afraid to fail. You might just soar above everybody else for doing it. Have a great day. I'll see you again.